everyone, I am Karen Archer, and I'm Gaston County Schools Science Curriculum Facilitator for the middle level. Last month we spoke about learning targets or learning objectives in the classroom. We said learning targets are goals that are written in a student-friendly language that clearly describes what students will learn and be able to do at the end of the class or a unit. We focused on the verbs in the learning targets. Today we will continue to look at some of these verbs. Remember, the verb in a learning target tells the students what he or she needs to be able to do. Here are a list of the verbs and their definitions that are usually associated with the science standards. Classify. This means arrange in groups or categorize. Explain. Make something clear. Express in detail. Describe. So here you're talking about the characteristics or the properties of something. And in this case, in the learning target, you'll be given a noun. Compare. Usually we think about the similarities, but this also includes the differences. Summarize. Give a brief statement of the main points. Infer. Conclude with evidence. Predict. Higher order now. State what will happen in the future. Conclude. Arrive at a judgment. Your students or your children will also see verbs such as recognize, identify, interpret, illustrate. You're probably wondering, why am I reinforcing the importance of the verbs and their definitions? This is a science class and not an English class. Well, these verbs are very important because they're a part of their learning targets, and your students should know what they mean so that they can apply them in the context of the sentence given or the learning target given. This is a 7th grade standard. Here are some standards, and you'll notice the verbs that are highlighted. Compare, explain, predict, explain, conclude. It is very important that your students, your children, are able to identify the verbs and know what these verbs mean. It is also very important that while they know the meaning and the definition of these verbs, that they are able to understand the context in which the verbs are used. Please support your students in identifying the verbs in the learning targets and helping them to understand the meaning of these verbs. Next month, we will continue to help support your children apply the verbs in the learning targets.